Hey everyone, it's Theo. I know a few videos ago I said I wasn't going to be making this video, but Mishak put out a video and gave me the confidence and some pointers that made me believe that I could make this video as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of the things I put in the Nightmare Jester's Guardian video, I'm going to put them at the beginning of this video, and then we're going to get on with the build. So let's talk about Jester Guardians before we get started with the run. Jester Guardians were added in the 10.0 patch and are unique to other Guardians. They have a max boost of 50 and a max range of 50. Their boost is unique in that instead of a boost percentage, it's a flat boost to all heroes' hero damage stat. There are 6 boost levels indicated by the far right number on the top bar. A Jester that has a boost of 50 would add 2,000 to all heroes' hero damage stat. So a monk with 5k hero damage would be boosted to 7k hero damage. The max amount of heroes that can be boosted is 16, which is very unlikely to be reached. Hero boost and propeller boost also stack with the Jester boost, and any hero can equip the Jester Guardian. So yeah, the Jester Guardian is pretty cool, but honestly it is really only useful in group lobbies with hero boost monks and cats already. Think of a Tavern Incursion lobby with 6 players like this. You have 2 hero boost monks with DPS pets, you have 2 Jesters with cats, a Jester with a Jester Guardian, and the remaining DPS hero with the DPS pet. That's pretty much how you're going to use a Jester Guardian. So, when farming for Jester Guardians, you are going to look for the following things that spawn. You want a boost of 7 and a range of 50 and upgrades over 430. You can only upgrade your boost every 10 upgrades. So having over 430 upgrades means you have 47 upgrades to boost to get your boost to 50. A 50 boost Guardian is going to be pretty rare. I think most will have a 40 to 49 boost Guardian. Also, just know that a boost of 40 adds the same amount of hero damage as a boost of 49. In addition to boost, range, and upgrades, you'd want your Jester Guardian to have some DPS stats like hero health, damage, and AB 1 or 2. Alright, that covers Jester Guardians, so let's go ahead and get on with this run. Alright, so this is a build that I'm going to use, and I'm going to take some things from Mishak as well. So we're going to go ahead and place our Ensnare and Strength Drain Aura right in that corner, and then we're going to go ahead and build our Box of Death. 4 Reflect Beams and a 4 DU Buff Beam. And then I'm going to place a single Reflect Beam right over here in front of this crystal. This is just to protect that crystal from archers. I'm going to go ahead and drop my mana, bring in my Hermit, and I'm going to take my Hermit. I'm going to build the Hermit towers in the back, which is something I grabbed from Mishak. So we're going to do a single Seed Bomb, a Nature's Pylon, a Mushroom Spore, and a Golem. And the reason I'm doing it in the back is so if there's anything that shows up and hits the app towers in front of it, that Seed Bomb tower is there to handle it. So it kind of covers all of your towers there. So I'm going to go ahead and build DSTs and LTs here. So I'm going to do 3 DSTs. 2 are going to point in this direction, kind of one at that horse, 1 right there, and 1 in this direction. And then the rest are going to be LTs. And then I'm going to use the remaining mana and upgrade my Buff Beam. Now I'm going to go ahead and swap over to my Summoner, which I know is a cardinal sin. I'm going to use some minions. And all I'm going to do is just build some spiders in specific spots. So right there in the corner, right over there, I'm going to put 2 over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and move these guys near the horse. And I'm going to put 2 more right down here by the bishop. Now this, no, they're not. There we go. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I like chill builds. And there's nothing chill about this build on Ruthless. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in all of my heroes. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Tower Boost Monk. And I'm going to bring in my Adept Upgrader. And I'm also going to bring in 2 Summoners. And both Summoners are wearing Huntress and Monk Guardians. And I'm going to go into first person view. So they're both standing right here by the app towers. I'm going into first person view so you can see both angles just to see where I have my spiders at. And so you can see if anything actually approaches them there. And those spiders are really there. Their main purpose is really about, when your tower boost ends and the right wave is still going, they're there for some safety. So I'm going to point at this direction over here, and this is where I will upgrade all of my defenses. So while that's happening, over in the top right, you see my tower boost monk is pretty much pointed like pretty far up on this first wave. I generally have to do that to keep his tower boost going. This is where I aim my tower boost. I think Meshach aims in a different direction, but this is the direction I aim, and it's somewhat consistent for this first wave. So once everything is upgraded, then I'll go ahead and swap out my adept upgrader and bring in my apprentice builder. So let's talk about why I'm using minions. Well, like I said, they're there as a safety factor, but really it's about, well, that's really what it's all about. It's about keeping the build chill. And so those spiders are there to web ogres as needed. Now obviously, if ogres are webbed, they're going to receive double damage, which is even a better thing. And it's really important and really nice that they're going to receive extra damage, especially when your tower boost is out. Your tower boost is probably going to go out at least once per wave. There's just not a good spawn that you can just sit there and camp at. So just know the spiders are there just in case. Like with my stats, I could probably not use them and probably don't need them at all, but I found that my builds just felt so much more comfortable with just them there, and I don't really feel they took up too much time for me from a build perspective. I mean, at most would it take me 20 seconds to build them, and I know a lot of people don't like to use minions at all, but for me, that's the route I decided I wanted to take, just to make this build feel more comfortable. And it does, especially when your tower boost goes out, it's nice to have a little safety net for that to happen. And that's our first wave. Not bad. Pretty simple, pretty easy, I'd say. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my builder apprentice so I can get that 33% tower boost to my towers. And she's just going to stand right here, and I'm going to point her over in this direction so we can watch, and see what happens to that crystal if mobs come by. And again, my tower boosters is pointing in this direction. And, as Meshach said, yes, Ruthless is a much more active run when you're doing Jester Guardians, because you're having to start on wave 32 as opposed to starting on wave 28 and only doing 3 waves, or on Ruthless you're doing 4 waves. But what I did know and what he brought up is that while you only do receive 4 Jesters, at the end of the wave, at the end of the run, it actually rolls 8 Jesters, and it gives you the 4 best Jesters of those 8. So while Nightmare doesn't do that, so while Nightmare does feel more chill, and is a little bit faster, you're just getting 4 Jesters. You're not getting, the 4 best Jesters out of 8. So technically you are really, when you're doing a Ruthless run, you're basically doing 2 Nightmare runs. But only getting the 4 best Jesters of those 2 runs. So with that in mind, I was like, what, it does make more sense to do it on Ruthless, even if it does mean you have to be a little bit more active. And when I say active, really what that means is, I have to move around with my tower boost monk. That's really what active is, because after that first wave, you have everything upgraded. Now it's just pointing at the mobs that you need to hit. And in the direction I point, it's usually there's a ton of ogres coming this way. So that's why I generally will stand on, this tip of this lopsided tile, so that I have a good vantage point, and mana will kind of float up to me, but sometimes the mana will get like stuck under it because it's trying to get to me, which can get a little bit annoying. But we see even on this wave, this is our, second wave. I've already lost my tower boost at least once. And, which is to be expected. I mean, these waves, each wave can last about 3 minutes, and that's a long time for tower boost to happen, especially when you can't like just point at a spawn, you're just shooting in a direction. And since, this map is basically floating in air, your madness balls are just going everywhere. And they're just, as Mishak called it, they're just falling into the void. So now we've gotten 2 waves done, and I've talked through this entire run so far. So we'll see if I can keep on talking. But, I did want to at least talk about the reasons why. While I did say in my Nightmare video I could see no reason to farm this map on Ruthless, I now understand why it is better to run this on Ruthless if you have the stats and can do it. And I think you can do this map comfortably with 5-6k stats. You would definitely need to use spider minions as a help. You see, I'm using them too, and my stats are well above 6k, so I'm statted pretty well to handle Ruthless maps. But the spiders are definitely there, and I'm still going to definitely use them because it just makes things feel comfortable. And if we look at the bottom 2 heroes and their vantage points, if you pay attention to that throughout this video, you'll see that not much, if anything, ever even comes to them. And if anything does come to them, especially from an ogre's just going to like run into the spiders and try to get them. I mean, it won't even swing at the spiders because it's trying to get to the golem or the lightning towers, and it's just going to keep walking. It's just going to get stuck on the spiders, while the spiders are also webbing them, and they're going to get double damage. But from what I've done from many runs of doing this build, I haven't actually even seen ogres even get to my spiders most times. And they definitely don't care about the spiders that are near my tower boost monk at all. So they're too focused on getting to that sweet golem and those lightning towers that are tickling them. This is the build, and this is what I generally do. Now, if I don't want to deal with this, and I just want to like set it and forget it, then I'll do Nightmare. But at the end of the day, it is far more optimal to run this on Ruthless for sure. I've been converted by the great Huntress, the lover of Huntresses, Mishak. He has definitely converted me, and I've learned a ton. And I will link his video in the doobly-doo because it is amazing. I could not even talk about Jesters and show the things that he did. I have no idea how he even did it. When he's showing ranges and auras and stuff like that. Watch his video. It's amazing. And you too will be wooed by his sweet accent. I know I use it to fall asleep to every night. When I'm having bad dreams, of course. So we are getting close to the end. One thing I should also mention is do pay attention, especially anytime you're running a Ruthless map and you're tower boosting, your pet farming, whatever it is. Look at your map. Mishak got a 23-38 pristine gloves on his run. Now, I am not getting any such plus items, but I did get an ultimate item, and I did look at it later, and it's not too bad. Nothing I will use, but it's something I'll just give away to somebody. But yes, when you're farming these maps, especially on Ruthless, because honestly, I never thought to look for armor when I was tower boosting on maps, because it was just something that never dropped. But on Ruthless, there is a greater chance of armor to drop when you have non-summoner heroes out there. So pay attention, and sometimes nice things will happen where you'll get some plus armor while you're pet farming or weapon farming or whatever. So definitely pay attention to those things. It's well worth the look-see. It doesn't take much effort to look at your map and to go, oh, there's a sweet piece of armor there. So that's pretty much it. That's really all I got to talk about here. I've done a lot of talking, more talking than y'all probably want to hear. But we are entering, well, we are finishing this last wave. We're a quarter of the way through. And, just, slow and steady. I mean, we'll probably be like at 12. I mean, the total time's probably around 15 or so minutes. But I'm going to go run around. Let me grab some mana real quick. Getting a little low on the tower boost. Where are all my ogres? Where's my line of ogres coming from here? They need to show up. I need your mana. Yeah, it is so annoying that mana gets stuck below this tile sometimes, though. So I get like way out here on the very tip. Yep, right there. Yeah, just right there. Hovering over this area. And now here comes, all my ogre friends feeding the genie. Uh-oh, getting low now. But that's what the spiders are there for, to help things out. And luckily, this cooldown is only like 20 seconds, so our tower boost will be up in no time. And there we go. Now we're just going to evaporate the map. Watching all those wyverns just like fall out of the sky is hilarious. But yeah, there we go. We are almost done. See, I like to think that this feels chill for those who try this. I don't think it's too difficult per se. And I know I'm saying it shouldn't be too difficult with the kind of stats that I have. But I definitely do believe this is accomplishable for many people. If you want a Jester Guardian, I'll be honest, in some of the DPS maps I've played with other players, I honestly haven't seen the Jester out there much. Because even with Tavern Incursion, when you split your party, you're still gonna have like there's not gonna be enough heroes over there to have a cat and a Jester. So Jester's cool. That utility hasn't happened yet. I don't believe. And that's the map. How do we feel about that? Let's look at the 4 best Jesters that they're going to give us on Ruthless. Okay. Oh God. What a joke. Those are the 4. There was apparently 4 worse than that. Jeez. There we go. 12 minutes, 30 seconds combat. 15.5 minutes. Total time. I mean, it's not bad. That's 4 waves. It's kind of what you would expect for Ruthless. But, there are faster pet farms out there. I don't know if there's faster Jester farms, but I think that feels about average. For all things said. That's all I really have for you all today. Thanks for watching, and happy farming.